Hi, Ronnie here, Sage Construction, the best general contractor in our area. And I'm here today to share some valuable information that hopefully will help anyone that's looking to do a project or possibly even currently in a project. And this information should help you at one point or another. Today I have a little bit of a list with me. We'll call it the outline, so I'm going to stay on track as best I can. So I wanted to go back to, we've talked about this several months ago, and it was the handshake deal versus the written agreement, and how important that is for the owner and for the contractor. And I actually have a very recent, I believe it was Wednesday, this was a residential, it was a homeowner, very small job. Customer had all of their windows replaced in their home previous to reaching out to us, but that company would not do one kitchen window, it was a bay window. Took a little bit more work on that one. And so that company wasn't willing to do that one window. Customer reached out to us. Full disclosure, it was only a $1,300 job, okay? But the thing I wanted to point out is that this customer had just went through 10 or 12 window replacement, including sliders, on their home, and they didn't have an agreement for that work. But then here we come for one little $1,300 window replacement, and guess what came with that? An agreement. And the customer brought that up. It was a husband and wife, and they were both surprised and almost, I guess it was intimidating in one way or another, the fact that such a small job, we would still have a written agreement to go along with that. By the end of the conversation and me explaining the benefits and the reasons for us having that agreement in place, they actually felt more confident and more comfortable after signing that agreement. Again, the point of the agreement is to show the pricing, the scope of work, the timeline / schedule, and so that both parties are in agreement and in alignment on all of those items. If we're just talking about it verbally, yeah, I'm gonna paint the house, I'm gonna re-roof it, we're gonna frame this wall, but there's no written detail and no written cost schedule of values associated with those tasks, how the hell do you know what's what? It blows my mind. And it's prevalent. So people, please make sure, no matter what you're doing, no matter what the price tag is, if it's a $1,300 window or a $1.3 million build, make sure the agreement's in place. You're not shaking hands and then moving on. That'll keep everyone honest and in agreement. You know, one of the downfalls of not having an agreement in place, you know, maybe you have a scummy contractor and that's reason number one why they don't have a written agreement. And as you progress in your project, guess what? Your schedule's going to change. I can bet you money it's going to extend. And with the extension of the schedule, they're going to start nickel and diming you for anything and everything that they can, and they're going to try to pry more money out of you. What I see and what I hear from speaking with customers is that we don't come in as the lowest bidder, but that's for a reason, because one, we know what we're doing, we know what we're bidding, and we have overhead. And so all of that has to be accounted for within a bid. So no, we're not the cheapest on it, but I can tell you one thing, the guy that is the cheapest always misses something, and the price always changes, and the schedule always changes, because he's going to come to you for that money on that item that he missed. You're upset because he's asking for more money. Early on, you were happy, you thought you were getting a good deal, good price. Oh, it's the same work as the more expensive guy. Well, it's not. He doesn't have any sort of organization. And so he missed something in the scope of work, and now he's into your project. You got your place torn apart. And he says, oh, by the way, I missed the electrical scope there that's required. And then he's going to come back to you and want that money. So in the long run, is cheaper better? Not usually. Having that agreement gives the owner the comfort of knowing that they're dealing with a true professional, right? They're dealing with a professional company that has a legal binding document, a schedule that's tied into that legal binding document. Obviously, now the schedule becomes part of that document, and the pricing. I think those three elements are the three keys to running a successful project that's on time and on budget. And that's very important not only for the contractor, but more important for the owner. If it's a homeowner, let's just go with the kitchen scenario. They want their kitchen back. They don't want their kitchen torn apart for any longer than it needs to be. So by providing that schedule and that timeline on that kitchen remodel, homeowner's going to know that if it's a 3-week project, by week 3, we should be doing a final walk and they can get back to a normal life in their home. Let's go with a commercial building scenario. They're more worried about the timeline, the price, and when can I open my business, right? They want to start generating revenue as quickly as possible. That commercial property owner needs to know what day they can actually open the doors for business and when they can start expecting to generate some revenue and get a return on their investment. So I think that's 2 good examples for you guys that you can really visualize and picture and see why it makes so much sense and why it's critical that it's done. Quality over price. You know, Bentleys don't go on sale, right? They never do. Hondas do. My recommendation is not to make decisions based on price over the quality of the work. If money is the issue for you, you're probably better off pushing back what you want to do, saving up the additional money, and then paying for the higher priced guy. And I say that because I can guarantee you're going to get a better finished product. If you even get a finished product with the cheap guy. The cheap guy might be using less quality items and not insured, which puts any owner at risk. They're going to be cutting corners and trying to find different ways to make up that margin that they need however they can. So just keep those things in mind. Be aware of it. Don't be in a rush to get something done, minus an emergency situation. Take your time, meet with your contractor, go over what you would like, create a budget, create a schedule, sign an agreement, and get to work.